Marcellus Sports Shooting Stars, we're bringing the game to you. And this Friday night, we got the big boys. District 3 6A 2025 championship as the Central York Panthers will battle against the Harrisburg Cougars. And I got the Cougar coach on, Coach Cal Everett. Thanks for jumping on with me here today.
Hey, how you doing today? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. It seems like I've been doing some research on you, man. All you've been doing since you got to that program is win. Talk about 6 district championships, multiple times going to the state chip game. Coach, what's the vibe like in that locker room busting out here to Friday night?
It's a pretty good vibe. You know, the kids are excited. Coaches are excited. We're just relishing this opportunity, to compete in another district championship Friday night.
Well, I made the joke when I was trying to set up the interview with you that I know all kinds of people are hitting you up this week. So today, Pat McAfee had a guy by the name of Kevin Brown on. Did you? I'm sure you soaked that up and watched that, right, Coach?
Absolutely. It's a great experience, great moment, just big for our program and Kevin and his family.
Well, and it's not your first rodeo doing something like that. I remember Micah Parsons when he was getting drafted. Talk a little bit about like having those kind of players in that program, Coach.
I mean, it's exciting, because not only are those guys extremely talented and athletic, but, they're really great young men and they come from great families. And they just add so much more to our program than what the naked eye would see.
Well, I can tell you, it was funny. I wrote this down. What Pat McAfee said.
We got a dude from Harrisburg High, Pennsylvania. He's 6'5", 285 pounds.
Brown's a chiseled Greek god, a Captain American-looking human being. So that's crazy when you got one of the biggest sports reporters, in the nation dropping that. But
a statue of a man, an 18-year-old high schooler who's one of the top-ranked offensive linemen in the world.
Like he said, he only does that for people that he expects to possibly see on Sundays in the future, Coach. And you got several of those players. I want to touch into that. But first, I want to take a quick look over at Central York. Being one of the most efficient offenses, 46 points a game, Coach. Brooklyn Ace over 35 touchdowns, only 2 picks. When you study film on Central York and Brooklyn Ace, what pops out to you?
He's savvy. He protects the football, which is extremely important as a quarterback. He knows how to escape by time. He finds his open targets. And, that's just an uncanny ability to have as a quarterback. And it's something that creates a lot of problems for an opposing defense.
Looking on your running backs, Coach, you've leaned on PJ Dent all season long, but now you have Mickens back, who some say is the best running back in the state. How do you balance those two with those totally different styles?
I think it's a good thing. PJ's a very good running back in his own right. And, obviously Messiah is a very good running back in his right. And they're different. They're very effective, but yet they're very different. So it allows us to be able to allows us to be effective in different ways. They complement each other really well.
It's a good problem to have, I'm sure, those two talented guys. But it doesn't stop there, Coach. Obviously, all-time leading receiver, Elias Koch. I remember doing games 2 years ago when he was just a sophomore. I mean, he's got highlights on YouTube that just make the NFL scouts drool. What do you see in the future for that young man who's going to Rutgers?
Elias has all the tools, so sky's the limit for him. He has the size, he has the hands, he has the intelligence. He runs great routes. He's a total package, so sky's the limit for Elias.
This game, obviously, Mid-Penn versus the YAI Double A. A lot of people will kind of say it's two different brands of football. What's your thoughts on that, Coach?
Take that with a grain of salt, the different brands of football and all that good stuff. Because, at the end of the day, we go off of what we see on film. And what we see is that, Central York's a really, really, really good football team. They have a lot of athletes across the board. And we know it's not going to be it's not going to be a cakewalk.
I watched an interview from earlier this season, and you were talking about how really preparation started, in December. of last year, and your goal, you have large goals for this year, Coach, and Friday night is obviously part of them. That special senior class that you have, we already mentioned a few of them, but Lewis as well, Mitchell, we talked about Kevin Brown, Elias Koch. What would another 6A championship bring to their legacy as you guys go to that ultimate goal for the state?
Yeah, I think for this group to go out with 4 district championships, obviously that's something that's on their to-do list as goals. So it definitely means a lot to them to win a district, all 4 years. And that's just one of our goals that we have. So, it'd be great to achieve that.
Coach, it's always an honor. Thank you so much for jumping on. Make sure you get out to West Shore Stadium this Friday. Kickoff is 7, but I'm telling you, get out there early. Get your tickets now, the PIAA.org. Just click on that District 3, buy the tickets. And if you can't, you can always watch it on Sports Shooting Stars.
We bring the game to you.